Hello and welcome everybody. Today we start with a question. How did you get started in collecting? It doesn't have to be sports cards. It could be anything. I collect a few things, sports cards being one of them. Here's my story. And remember, this is from a collecting standpoint, not an investing standpoint. When I was young, 9, it was actually my 10th birthday this trip. We drove from our home in Los Angeles all the way down to Florida, party in, what was that? It's like Disneyland, but bigger. Oh, Disney World. It's like Disneyland, but they have Epcot Center. Why we drove from LA to, it still blows my mind. Either way, we were in Florida. Drove up to New York City and then back to California. And we camped at these places. I want to say, we camped in a lot of different places, but several repeats seemed to be a place, I want to say it was Jellystone. It had a picture of like a wooden cutout of Yogi the Bear. And I think that's right. I don't remember. Tell me in the comments below if I'm way off base. But they had convenience stores in lots of these campgrounds that we stayed in. And I would go, and I remember with my dad, I'd be like, one day I just grabbed a pack of cards. Never bought anything like this before. I just grabbed a pack. I'm like, what's this? I'm like, Dad, buy this for me. And he's like, all right. It was like, 80 cents or something, 50 cents. So he throws it on the counter and buys. I open it up. I'm like, cool, look at these cards, No idea what any of this stuff meant. I remember asking, what does MVP mean? And I think he's the one who taught me most valuable player. I'm like, whoa, he's the most valuable player. Surprised, later, obviously. Like, I thought these were the coolest looking things ever. This is like a god, right? Like Hercules, Carlton Fisk. And, Greg Jeffries, rated rookie. When I got back to California, I was like, this card's going to be worth $1 million. I have a rookie card. Either way, you can see this represents my whole trip to Florida and back. Okay, you can see how many packs I bought. I don't even know. Maybe 10. Whopping $5 worth, $8 worth of cards. So this is what got me started. And it's interesting too, because collecting to me has always been more than just investment. And I remember hearing stories from my dad and various other people. I think it was my uncle who's like, I remember I had a Mickey Mantle rookie and I stuck it in the spokes of my bicycle so to make the clack, 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 clack sound. And I was like, I'll never do that. So you know what I did instead? I got a nice thick rubber band and rubber banded these together and threw this in a shoebox to keep them safe. Look at the edges. Look at it. PSA -2. If I send any of these graded, look how rounded these corners are. But as far as a collector goes, I loved baseball after this. No longer was it just like, what are the old people watching? It was like, oh, cool, I know that person. I'd pull out my cards, and be like, oh, I have his card, And it was exciting, and it made it more fun. And so that's what got me into it. And so later, happens also to be a Donruss story here. Look at the back of these cards. You look at cards these days, and it's just like, there's so much going on. Here it's just like, here's some stats. And I'd look at these stats, and like, is he good? Let me go look at his stats, when I was watching baseball. Orange backs. And so I remember at the store, I can't remember where it was in California. We stopped somewhere. And they had cards. I'm like, buy them. So we got some more Donruss. And I opened them up and I'm like, they're different. And I'm like, they're old. And this isn't the whole pack. This is all I could find. And I was just like, they're old. I don't want old cards, being a kid. I'm like, I don't want the old stuff. I want the new stuff. And by that time it was 1990. And so obviously went through a few packs of 1990s Donruss, which I thought were super awesome. Again, I missed the bright, happy kid colors, and that's, to me, what got me started into it. And I realized that they're fun. They're fun to collect. I remember my friends would come over and look at my cards, and it became a social thing, and it became a sports thing, and sports are already social, and would go out and try to play baseball. And still to this day, I like playing catch with my son. So to me, collecting, it's just funny how investing versus collecting, those two worlds can coexist happily together, but sometimes they just don't make sense to a little kid. Like as a collector, I wanted the newest, cool stuff, and this old stuff is just garbage. Just put it, nobody cares, Let me know your thoughts. Look at how 88, 89, 90 progressed. I should actually switch these around here. This makes more sense here. 88, 89, 90. Interesting cards. Diamond Kings. Is that another insert I had? I thought I had a Diamond Kings. There's the MVP. There it is, Diamond Kings. Fun inserts. Anyway, not about the money, about collecting and having fun. So let me know your collecting thoughts, your origin stories in the comments below. Always interested to read those. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe.